The wind whispers through the broken windows of Maxton Hall, carrying secrets long buried in darkness. Shadows shift across the grand halls, and every corner seems alive, watching, waiting. Something is coming, something that will change everything you thought you knew about this place. The past is not done with Maxton Hall, and neither are the horrors it hides. The camera moves slowly along the outside of Maxton Hall, shrouded in a thick, rolling mist. The moon casts faint silver light over the cracked stone walls, illuminating. Ivy crawling up the facade like dark veins. An old wrought iron gate swings on its hinges, squealing as if warning anyone who dares to enter. Inside, the grand foyer stretches out into darkness. Dust hangs heavy in the air, disturbed only by occasional flickers of light from dying candles. A grand chandelier sways slightly, its crystals clinking softly in the silence, and shadows dance across the walls, twisting and bending in unnatural ways. Broken furniture lies scattered, and the echo of footsteps seems to come from nowhere, growing and fading like a heartbeat. The hallway beyond the foyer stretches long and narrow, lined with portraits of stern faces whose eyes seem to follow every movement. The floorboards creak under invisible weight, and each creak sounds louder than it should. Like the house itself is alive and breathing, cobwebs hang from the corners, and the smell of old wood and decay fills the air, making it impossible to ignore the sense that something is watching from the darkness. A sudden gust of wind pushes through a cracked window, scattering papers and sending a door slamming shut somewhere deep inside. The sound reverberates like a warning dot in the library. The camera drifts past shelves filled with ancient books, their spines cracked and yellowed with age. Some books lie open on the floor, as if left mid-read, and the pages turn slowly on their own. Shadows seem to cling to the corners, and in the briefest flashes, shapes move just out of sight. A single candle flickers, and the flame casts strange shapes on the walls, making the library feel alive, almost sentient. Somewhere in the distance, a clock ticks backward, and the sound is deafening in the silence. Every object feels heavy with history and secrets, and the air grows thick with anticipation, as if the building itself is preparing for something, moving deeper into the hall. A grand staircase looms, each step covered in dust but polished by unseen hands. The railing twists upward into darkness, and at the top, a shadow moves just for a moment before vanishing. Doors line the walls, some slightly ajar, others locked tight with old, rusted locks. Each door holds a mystery, and the camera lingers on them just long enough to make the viewer wonder what is hidden behind each one. In the dining hall, long-forgotten silverware glints faintly in the candlelight, and the remnants of a feast sit rotting on the table. The air is cold, and the faint sound of distant laughter echoes off the walls, a ghostly reminder that Maxton Hall has witnessed joys and horrors in equal measure. The hallways twist and turn like a maze, and the camera moves as if it is being pulled, guided by an unseen force. The walls are lined with tapestries depicting scenes of celebration and tragedy, but their colors are muted and faded, as if drained of life. From somewhere deep in the building comes the soft sound of a piano, playing a single note, echoing through the halls. It is haunting, beautiful, and terrifying all at once. Shadows lengthen and shrink as the camera glides past, creating the feeling that the building itself breathes. The viewer can almost feel a presence, something unseen, shifting just beyond the edge of vision, reminding everyone that the darkness within Maxton Hall is far from gone. By the end of this section, the stage is set for the season. The hall is alive with secrets, waiting for the next moment of chaos and revelation. The silence is heavy, the tension unbearable, and the anticipation for what comes next is almost unbearable. Every object, every shadow, every flicker of candlelight hints at the mysteries still to come, and the viewer is drawn deeper into the dark, haunting world of Maxton Hall. The feeling of being watched lingers, and even as the camera pulls back, the hall seems endless, a labyrinth of secrets ready to unfold. The camera drifts down a narrow corridor, the walls lined with peeling wallpaper and dark stains that hint at long-forgotten events. Each step echoes faintly, though no one is visible, and the silence feels thick enough to swallow sound. Dust particles float lazily in the pale light that filters through cracked windows, forming ghostly patterns on the floor. A sudden shift in the air makes the candle flames dance violently, throwing the walls into jagged shadows that twist and stretch unnaturally. The scene lingers on a cracked mirror, its surface mottled with age, reflecting fleeting images of movement that vanish the instant you focus on them. Doors along the hallway are slightly ajar, each one inviting curiosity yet warning of danger. Behind one, a faint scratching sound begins, slow and deliberate, as if someone or something is trying to make its presence known without revealing itself. Turning a corner, the camera moves into what seems like an abandoned study. Books lie scattered across the floor, papers yellowed with age fluttering in the drafts that move through the room. The once grand desk is scratched and gouged, and a quill lies poised over an open journal, its ink smeared as though the words were written in haste or fear. The faint smell of mildew mixes with something sharper, metallic, almost like blood, in the corner. A small box sits partially open, its contents hidden. Yet the angle suggests that whatever is inside is not meant to be seen. Shadows gather near, the ceiling stretching down toward the floor, and when the camera pans upward, the faint outline of a figure can be seen crouched among the rafters, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Moving further into the hall, the walls are adorned with portraits of people long dead, but their eyes seem unusually alive. Some tilt slightly when no one is looking, others appear to follow the camera as it moves. A gust of wind rattles the window panes, and the sound of soft, indistinct whispering rises from nowhere. The whispers grow faintly louder, like fragments of conversations carried over decades, speaking of betrayals, of secrets hidden behind locked doors, of events never meant to be remembered. The camera glides past a grand staircase where the railing is splintered, the steps scuffed, but at the top a shadow pauses for a fraction of a second before disappearing into the darkness above. The sensation of being watched is palpable. The hall seems alive, anticipating movement, responding to the camera's presence as if it were an intruder in its domain. In the dining room, the scene shifts to a long table that stretches the length of the hall. Dusty plates and silverware are arranged as if in preparation for a meal that never came, with cracked glasses and a tipped-over candelabrum. Shadows flicker across the walls, hinting at figures who once dined here, now nothing more than memories, or perhaps something more sinister. The chandelier above sways slightly despite the still air, casting fractured light across the faces in the portraits, giving them the appearance of subtle, mocking grins. Somewhere in the distance, the soft creak of a rocking chair moves in and out of rhythm, though no chair is in sight. The camera pans to a cracked window where the moonlight catches a faded symbol etched into the glass, mysterious and foreboding, hinting at a hidden story yet to be uncovered. The hallway stretches endlessly as the camera glides deeper, revealing secret passageways and hidden doors previously unnoticed. Behind one door, faint candlelight flickers across the walls, illuminating a series of old letters pinned in a chaotic pattern, each one marked with stains and cryptic symbols. A sudden sound of laughter, hollow and childlike, echoes through the corridor, fading just as quickly as it appeared, leaving a silence that is heavier than before. Floorboards creak unexpectedly under unseen weight. Shadows move independently of their sources, and the atmosphere grows denser, more oppressive. Every object, every flicker of light, every whisper contributes to the feeling that Maxton Hall is alive with memories and malevolence. That every corner holds a secret that is both ancient and dangerous. As the section closes, the camera lingers on a long hallway that ends in total darkness. The whispers rise again, louder this time, almost forming words, almost calling out, but always stopping short, leaving the viewer suspended in unease. Flickers of movement appear along the walls, curtains shifting, doors trembling, shadows that do not belong to anything visible. The feeling of being watched intensifies, a quiet warning that the mysteries of Maxton Hall are far from solved. The season promises that every corner holds a secret, every shadow hides a truth, and the deeper the hall is explored, the closer the unknown gets. The tension is thick, almost suffocating, and the viewer is left with a sense of anticipation, as if at any moment, the hall itself might reach out from the shadows to reveal what it has been hiding. The camera glides into the upper floors of Maxton Hall, where the darkness seems heavier, almost tangible. The wallpaper here is older, cracked, and peeling in jagged patterns, like the hall itself is cracking under some unseen pressure. Shadows cling to the corners and crawl along the walls, twisting unnaturally as if testing the edges of reality. Every step echoes hollowly, bouncing back as distorted murmurs that sound like conversations long past. Occasionally, the camera catches glimpses of shapes that vanish the instant they are looked.